Yo, what's happening? My name is Gabe, this is Josh. We're gonna go and talk more D&D. As you can tell, we're still walking.
We are still walking.
We're still walking, but again, it's a beautiful day. We're enjoying the weather, soaking in a lot of sun. And again, just wonderful time to talk about Dungeons and Dragons. So, it's funny because we were talking about this one page that Josh and I both are on. And we see a lot of different questions from a lot of people just starting on Dungeons & Dragons. Something that I've actually seen, a question, when does one feel that they're ready to be a DM? And they're talking about, okay, well, I'm a player. I've been playing a few sessions here or there. When do I feel ready to start, DMing a campaign? Josh, you have an answer for that?
You're never ready.
What? I didn't hear that. What did you say?
Never ready.
No, well, never ready? What do you mean never ready? I played like 2 sessions. I want to be a DM.
Then go be a DM.
Why not?
The point is, we find that many people think that playing the Dungeon Master or the Game Master, they think it's like some uber responsibility and it's harder. Sure, there's a little bit more challenge to it because you have to be a little bit more familiar with the rules and you have to be a little bit quick on your feet with the improv.
You should know how to learn how to play the game. You should have a decent understanding how the game works.
However, if you can form sentences, which at this point, if you're watching this video and you can't form sentences, stop watching this video and go back and play with mom and dad. And if you don't have mom and dad, I'm sorry, go play with someone. But if you can form sentences, you can play the Dungeon Master.
Yeah, I guess so. But I'd like to kill a caveat on that. So when it comes to actually being the Dungeon Master, having a good fundamental understanding of how the game works and the game flow, definitely super helpful. But we were discussing before that really there's not really any set experience, to go and play Dungeons and Dragons. Really, you should just have an idea of how the game works, know what resources to use in case you need to go and refer to something, and if you have an imagination, know how to actually tie that in and tell a story.
It doesn't make you better or worse than the other people at your table. It's just a necessary part of the game, just like the dice.
Yeah. So, for instance, what I mean by that is, well, what if there was some monster that the party was fighting, but you don't know how that monster works? I have my own, you could always think to yourself, how would a monster work? But when it comes to actually, doing something that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, just not blowing things out of proportion. For instance, let's take, a dragon. Let's say Dungeons & Dragons, you're fighting a dragon. Now, there's all sorts of levels of dragons that they could be fighting. But the thing is that when I think dragon, I'm going to think that, hey, I could either make it a really, really easy encounter, or I can make it extremely difficult. But the thing is that when you actually have these references and these resources to go and refer to as far as how a dragon operates, typically in the D&D world, or what kind of attacks that they have, it's a lot less work on your end. And so, instead of having to try to figure things out all on your own, you have this resource that helps you expedite that process, so you have to do less thinking so you can get on with the story. Right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Most of playing the role of Dungeon Master, Game Master, is master is, I find, the wrong word to use. Really, you're just a moderator.
Yeah.
You make it up as you go. You let something happen, and you justify it later. That's the best way to do it.
Pretty much. But the thing is that you're, like he just said, facilitating and moderating the world. That's really what it is. You're facilitating the world that you put the players in, and they're kind of interacting and solving problems within that context that you made for them. Do I have that right?
I agree.
I think it makes sense. But when are you actually ready to be a DM? Really, again, it's, can you tell a story? Can you use the resources that that can help you tell that story? Can you make it where you tell a story that's entertaining and fun that makes sense to the players?
Do you know that 15 is greater than 10?
No! Just joking. No, but yeah, you could, if you know numbers, that's helpful,
Yeah, basic math. That's all this game requires is basic math.
So when are you actually ready? I'd say if you
Now.
play it, if you play a few sessions just to get your feet wet, know how the game works, and you could just jump in.
Just do it.
You don't get better at something by sitting around doing nothing. No, you do it more.
It's like the Shia LaBeouf meme.
Do it! The more you do it, the better you are going to get at it. Just like any other skill. Storytelling is the same thing. Dungeons and Dragons, it's just storytelling with math.
Group storytelling.
There you go. So, I don't have anything else to add to that. You could do a DM. You could be a DM at any time, but at least know how the game works. That's my take. What about you? You got anything, Josh?
Like, comment, subscribe.
Well, I was
Like,
going to get into that.
Comment, subscribe.
Trying to get into that subconscious programming. But again, this is my name is Gabe. This is Josh, and that's another video on D&D, when to be a DM, or when is it appropriate to be a DM. If you have any other questions, feel free to go and make a comment in the comments section. Send us an email. We'll go ahead and answer it. Like he was saying, subscribe to our channel if you learned anything from us, and we'll see you on the next video.
Bye now.
Take care.